if you guys have been watching the channel, you guys know that I really enjoy Coffeezilla. But in case you guys don't know who this is a YouTuber with almost 4 million subscribers, and about a year ago he exposed Logan Paul for crypto sue. It was a massive video, it got over 10 million views, and the reason why we're here is because he made a video 10 hours ago called Logan Paul Sued Me. Hearing this is just not it, especially when Logan Paul was 1000% in the wrong. And before we get into it, very briefly, I know some people are going to point out, yo, Sensitive, you said that you enjoyed Prime, you're a Logan Paul fanboy. I want to address the allegations very briefly. Yes, I enjoy Prime, but it does not mean that I like Logan Paul, okay? I could separate Logan Paul, the douche tuber, from the guy that makes drinks. Enough of me yapping, let's just get right into it.
Logan Paul is suing me for CryptoZoo, only a year after he thanked me for it. Rather than pay back his victims fully, Logan would rather publicly humiliate himself in court by accusing me of defaming him. He's hired 5 lawyers to sue me, which he hopes will stop me from exposing him again. You see, only hours before this lawsuit was filed, I had reached out to Logan Paul about a new investigation into one of his companies, which has just been accused by the Canadian government of being a multi-layered fraud in Canada. I obviously had questions, but before I was able to get answers, Logan's team of lawyers showed up to silence me. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to go through this lawsuit. I'm going to tell you how to support us if you want, because while I didn't think I'd need help, I was wrong. But before we get to my mistake, let's start with Logan's.
The thing with Logan Paul is that if you guys have seen him wrestle at the WWE, he's a pretty good athlete, right? I don't think anyone can take that away from him. But at heart, it just seems like he's just a huge bully. Like, sure, he could do all these cool flips and he has a cool drink, but suing Coffeezilla for exposing you for the shitty person you are, it's such a bully bitch-ass move in my opinion. And you're exposing me for being a shitty person, even though I am. But I don't really like it, so I'm going to sue you. Best example I could give out is this big, rich bully. As talented as he is, he's a moron, and all the success and money will never be able to change that part of him. And this is what happens when you try to silence someone. It never works out. We've talked about it here time and time again. If you try to suppress and silence something or someone, it's only going to make things worse.
This lawsuit is not about Logan Paul getting defamed. Instead, this is about him trying to dodge accountability, victims, and blame anyone but himself for his problems, especially me. This lawsuit says Logan Paul wants to hold me accountable for my actions. But what actions are those? Holding him accountable? It's ironic because his lawyers claim Logan has learned to believe in the importance of accountability. But accountability for who? Currently, Logan is fighting the victims of CryptoZoo in court, and now he's fighting the journalist who exposed him in the first place. Logan's 5 lawyers tried to discredit me as a journalist. They paint me as someone who wanted money. They say I had a false and malicious narrative. But you know who doesn't believe that? You know who secretly praises me behind the scenes?
This journalist, YouTuber, crypto uncoverer guy named Coffeezilla, who's incredible, by the way. A very thorough, good-hearted, smart guy did a deep dive into this project that I attempted to make called CryptoZoo.
That's right, it's Logan Paul. He's the biggest enemy of Logan Paul's defamation case. Who knew? Because defamation requires actual malice and a reckless disregard for the truth. But he just admitted on camera that I am thorough and good-hearted.
Yeah, this is probably the smartest Logan Paul moment ever. All the money in the world, and he still finds a way to fuck himself over. When I hear people say, yeah, I'm not going to get Prime because it's Logan Paul, and Logan Paul is a pretty shitty person, I don't blame them one bit. It feels like every 3 days he's in controversy, whether he tweets something stupid, or he says something even stupider, or he promotes a scam. It feels like at least once per week he does something that hurts the brand, and he's controversial on stuff that should be extremely easy not to be caught in, such as scamming your fans, not only once, multiple times. Every single time he gets into drama or trouble, his first answer is crying about it and then being like, I'm going to sue you, even though Logan Paul is 1000% in the wrong here. And if I'm not mistaken, Logan has been promising refunds for over a year, and a lot of people have yet to receive their money. You would think at his age he would have shit figured out, but apparently not. And the whole I'm just a young guy with money and I'm a dumb teenager really doesn't work when you're in your late 20s. How old is Logan Paul? Genuine question. Logan Paul is about to turn 30 and he still acts like he's a 14-year-old entitled rich kid who is the biggest douchebag on the block, and legitimately no one wants to be friends with him, and all the friends he has is courtesy of his money. Like, no one genuinely likes him, they just like his money. I mean, if you're 30 years old and you're acting like this, you're most likely going to be like this for the rest of your life.
Maybe that's why he wanted to remove that video from the internet, according to the YouTuber who released it.
The only issue that was ever communicated was remove this crypto stuff, remove this CryptoZoo stuff. If CryptoZoo is in there, if Coffeezilla's in there, I'm not going to promote it.
Yeah, remove that CryptoZoo stuff, that Coffeezilla stuff. Doesn't look good when you compliment the guy you're trying to sue. Maybe that's why Logan isn't even suing me for my original investigation at all, despite most of this lawsuit being a ridiculous fanfic about how I took Logan out of context, that Logan was a victim, that I withheld text messages. Logan isn't suing me for any of the original investigation, though, because he knows he can't. Instead, at the end of the lawsuit, we find what my defamation really is. I'm being sued for 2 videos and 1 tweet where I advocated for refunds. For the victims. Yes, you heard me right. Logan Paul sued me after I tried to get his fans, the CryptoZoo investors, a full refund. Remember, there are 2 parts to CryptoZoo, the NFTs and the Zoo tokens, and Logan chose only to refund the NFTs, which is a minority of the losses, and I had a major problem with that. I told Logan this. I've stated over and over my opinion that it is disappointing for someone as rich as Logan to not make things fully right, and instead only pay back a small part of the losses while fighting the rest of the victims in court.
There is no excuse for a multi-millionaire. How much money did Prime make? I know that they were bragging about it. I think it was like 800 million. So I actually found this article. This is from November 8th of 2023, so it's a few months old. Logan Paul and KSI's Prime drinks are set to surpass 1.2 billion in sales, and they've been sponsoring the WWE and UFC. It's not like Logan Paul is broke, and yes, I know 1.2 billion in sales doesn't mean that's net, right? Trust me guys, I've watched Shark Tank. I know how this works. You don't actually get to keep 1.2 billion dollars. You gotta pay distributors, and on top of that, I'm guessing it's 50-50. So 50% goes to KSI, 50% goes to Logan Paul, and then you gotta take into consideration taxes. Let's say worst case scenario, Logan Paul only made 10% of $500 million, and that's not even me doing the whole math and the whole breakdown. Those are just the numbers on the top of my head. That's combined with his YouTube revenue and his WWE revenue because he's a WWE wrestler. This guy is swimming in money, and there is no excuse for him not to be able to pay $1 million, $2 million to victims of his scam. There's just no fucking reason for that. That's just him being greedy for the sake of being greedy. I don't know what Logan Paul's net worth is. I think it's time for us to check it out together. So here I have Forbes. This is from 2023. It says that his net worth is $21 million. He was ranked number 6 when it comes to top creators. I think I was like spot number 7 or something like that. I'm sure by now it's between 30 to 45 million dollars. And you're telling me this guy cannot pay $1 million to the victims? Now I'm curious, who was the top creators here? Now, Mr. Beast, earnings 82 million. I should be on the list. I'm sure of it. KSI 24, Jake Paul, Wrath and Link, go to YouTubers. Charlie D'Amelio. Okay, I'm clearly not on this list. They probably thought I was too busy to be on this list because my net worth is in the millions. I mean, last year I made like $15 million. Low-key kind of surprised I'm not here, but you know, Forbes, if you want to hit me up this year, you know where to find me. I like to stay humble and, you know, be off the radar when it comes to these kind of lists. So, you know what I mean?
And the tweet, I simply said, Logan's the type of guy to thank you for exposing his scam and block you when you remind him to pay up. I mean, yeah, now he's the type of guy to then sue you. Now, I'm sure Logan doesn't like it when I say things like Logan's victims or Logan's scam, but I have a question. If they're not Logan's victims, whose victims are they? Even Logan admits they are victims. He told me via text, just thought we had the same goal of helping victims instead of a divisive social media war. So he agrees people have been wronged by his game. You know, the thing that he said will earn you money.
It's a really fun game that makes you money.
So how are these not Logan's victims? He, of course, would say it's his business partner's fault. But remember, Jake and Eddie have been out of the picture for years. And yet, CryptoZoo hasn't been released, despite Logan constantly promising it, and of course, also threatening to sue me.
We're going to handle this ourselves while we continue to build CryptoZoo, and I'll see you in court. By the time this comes out, it'll be done. The game's going to be made. You're going to have the opportunity to get your money back if you want, if you don't want to play the game. And I'm going to take care of the people who made me look like this was a scam perpetrated by me.
Right. Logan wants to sue me and release a finished CryptoZoo game, but he's only done one of those. Since Logan can't blame his partners, Jake and Eddie, for this because they've been out of the picture, do you think he'll take accountability for not launching CryptoZoo? No. This time, he blames the government. He says releasing CryptoZoo has too many regulatory hurdles. Maybe they should have thought of that before multi-millions of dollars of zoo tokens and eggs were sold. And now Logan would rather blame the government than take accountability.
Wow, Logan Paul not taking accountability for his actions in 2024? Wow, who could have seen that coming? Clearly not me. I thought by now he would have changed. This guy's never going to change. He's going to be the same douchey influencer that he's always been this whole time. And it's sad because I think he's a great wrestler. I think Prime is really good, that he continues to damage not only Prime, but the whole Logan Paul brand as is, with stupid moves like these. It's looking kind of tragic because the guy is talented. And no, this is not me glazing Logan. He's this rich-ass bully who just likes to pick on smaller people than him, that have less money than him, just because he can, and because he wants to censor his critics. If you're in the wrong, admit it and take the L and pay the victims that are suffering from CryptoZoo. Now, granted, if you believed Logan Paul was going to get you rich, you know, that's kind of on you, and he still has a lot of people that he hasn't paid. It's been years, Logan. You've been making millions per month. How is it not possible to give that money back? And I know it's not as straightforward as just, you know, what's your PayPal? I'll send you some money. I know that it's not as easy as that, but you've had over a year and a half. You willingly and very easily took people's money, but now you can't give it back? That doesn't make any sense to me.
These internet journalists, internet investigative reporters have way too much responsibility on their hands that is being mismanaged and wielded in a really inappropriate way.
It's honestly funny to watch this guy whine about his problems, which you can barely hear over what sounds like a private jet. Which brings me to another problem Logan has. Part of any defamation case is damages, and proving someone has harmed your reputation. But isn't Logan richer than ever with Prime? And did he have a reputation to harm? His lawsuit shows comments calling Logan a scammer, possibly to suggest he's been hurt by my videos, but you have to have a reputation to lose one. And by the time of my reporting in question, Logan Paul was already accused of participating in multiple crypto pump and dump schemes. That article does not reference my work. So Logan had already had a reputation as a scammer before my investigation, at least if you believe their allegations. So this lawsuit from beginning to end is groundless, meritless, frivolous, and Logan knows that because behind the scenes, in clips he didn't want to get out, he's saying I'm thorough and good-hearted. But in public, he wants to sue me, silence me, and cost me money, because that's the one department where we both know he's got me beat. For now, the bottom line is we have to fight Logan with our personal funds, which means I need to ask for your support. If you want to help and are able to help, there are two ways to contribute to our fight against Logan Paul. One, you can join our Patreon, which supports the channel. Or you can buy exclusive merch at Coffeezilla.store.
You know what? I normally don't do this, but let me check out the merch. I do need new shirts. Well, actually I don't, but... and the merch is low-key kind of sick. I don't know which one I like the most. Like, I'm fucking with this one. They'll give me kind of like cyberpunk vibes. And I love Cyberpunk 2077. It just cyberpunk as is. I really like this one. I think that's the best way to do something like this. Give the fans something, they'll help you, and you get a cool piece of merch, and everyone wins here, right? So yeah, I'm probably gonna get some. It's pretty sad that it has to come to this, to the point where you're being sued and you need to fight back, especially against someone like Logan Paul that 1000% knows that he's in the wrong, but just wants to censor and shut down Coffeezilla.
It's been over a year since he apologized and thanked me.
Thank you, Coffeezilla. I am very grateful for your work and your investigation. And I mean that. Thank you, bro.
It might seem strange, but I've got some fun facts for you that may or may not be related. Did you know 6 days before the lawsuit, I had featured Logan Paul in a teaser for a video? Did you know 21 hours before the lawsuit, I had texted Logan for comment? Did you know I told him he had 24 hours to respond, and Logan sued me 3 hours before the deadline? Yep, that's right. Logan's lawyers then threatened me in that lawsuit email. that if I report on this new story, Logan might hold me accountable. And Logan's definition of accountability seems to mean he'll sue me, which is why I believe this lawsuit was not designed to win, but to shut me up, to threaten me, using Logan's wealth and a federal court system without anti-slap to send a message.
To me, this just kind of comes across as a power move. Just because he can, just because he has the money. Man, I kind of don't want to get Prime anymore. Yeah, this guy is kind of a douche. Well, we all knew that. As time goes on, you hope people change for the best. This guy just keeps getting worse. And by this guy, of course, I'm referring to Logan Paul. It definitely leaves a bad taste in your mouth when you know this multi-millionaire could very easily give $1 million back and help everyone that fell for his scam. He could fix that. And it's so funny and ironic to see him flying with his private plane, being like, yeah, I will give people their money back. And then there's like private jet noises. It's like, thanks to you, there are people who are genuinely struggling because they believed in you. You're diehard fans. The reason why you're at where you are right now because of your diehard fans being taken advantage in this way. I don't want to steal Coffeezilla's full video. It's going to be linked below in case you guys want to watch it. I just want to talk about it for a bit. Extremely common Logan Paul L. But anyways, with that said, what do you guys think of this? Please let me know in the comments below. Appreciate you. All love. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. Give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And I'll see you next time. All right. Peace out.